thank you, Shannon, our clerk, for providing us a full page on the last one. So, thank you. But with that, the clerk will please note that all of our members are present. And council, you have before you the minutes of the previous agenda. If there are no additions or corrections to those minutes, a motion to approve is in order. Do what?
We need to, yeah, I make a motion that
We got to do the minutes and then we'll approve the agenda. So that's the next item on the, so moved by Mr. Leeks, seconded by? Agenda as amended is in order. By Ms. Moultrie, seconded by Ms. Baker. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the agenda is approved as amended. There are no committee reports this evening other than the executive committee did meet at 3 o'clock to discuss agenda items. And all of our members were present at that meeting as well. Shannon, thank you. All right. First order of business is Mr. Mitchell Sneed with some community concerns. Mr. Sneed, if you don't mind coming forward. And of course, state your name, even though I told everybody who you were. But do all the formalities, and then we welcome to hear from you about some concerns.
Right, my name is Mitchell Sneed. I'm a resident of Troy, Alabama. Thank you for this opportunity to address the board and the community at large. I have a concern about not just the north side in general, but a particular spot on the north side of Troy. Over the last, we can say 36 months, I've been constantly monitoring that particular area, that particular spot. And the spot I'm speaking of is the Sonoco gas station. Now, this is a gas station. There's no way possible, with me being a resident, if I'm going to the gas station to get gas, or I'm going to the gas station to get chips, that I could possibly lose my life. Or if someone who's a resident in that area could possibly be hit with a stray bullet or harassed. We're not talking about the entire North 3 Notch. We're saying one particular area. If it was multiple spots, I would be the first to say, well, maybe a bigger police presence is needed. However, when it's one area, that's a big concern with me, because as a resident, it's consistent. And if this is a business that's supposed to be ran as a business, why out of all the places on 3 Notch Street that this is the only place constant violence or constant mayhem constantly takes place? And as the north side continues to develop, I want to ensure and ask you all to assure us that the residents can be safe and the resident area can grow and flourish with the members of the north side of Troy. It's a concern, and with all sincerity, it's something that needs to be done. Not just with the residents, but with that particular business. It's an issue. If clubs can be shut down and brought before the board because of shootouts and things like that, surely a gas station should be up under some form of something to be removed from the north side. It's actually a black eye. It's an eyesore. Anyone going down North 3 Notch Street can clearly see it. Starting from right there all the way down, you can see the difference in the development of North 3 Notch Street. And in my humble opinion, if that particular element, that cancer to the north side is removed, I think overall the north side will be a safer place, number one, and it will open up the potential for other businesses. Because if I'm a potential business owner, why would I want to bring my business close to an area like that? If I'm providing service or a good, why would I want to bring a business that can actually make me money, but I can't bring it there because I'm going to lose money because people don't want to come deal with me, with the service I may offer or the goods I may offer. So again, I'm humbly asking you all to please look into this matter, not only to make the north side better, but overall make Troy a better place. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. We appreciate you coming. Appreciate you bringing this been on our mind and it has been brought to our attention, but thank you for coming and stressing publicly to us your opinions on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Moving along, the next item is a special event retail ABC application. And this application is for El Palacio. It's for a holiday party, I believe, with a local corporation.
Yes, sir.
Will you mind coming forward and giving us your name and stating the purpose of the special event license?
My name is Ben Brown. I'm one of the owners with El Palacio, and there's a Christmas party for CGI here in Troy.
All right, and this will take place,
At J. Michelle's on December the 10th.
all right, this is in the police jurisdiction. Council, he's asking for a special event license. Are there any questions regarding this particular application from the council at this time? Comments?
Now, are you part of the group that owns the El Palacios?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 13 years.
He's in there every day.
And we've had multiple big ones.
That's why I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Moulton?
But we still do, take into consideration those people that may be under the age of drinking.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, we take that very seriously. Yes, ma'am. We ID anyone who looks under the age of 35. Anybody who looks young, we question. We'd rather be safe than sorry.
That means they're going to card you. All right, Wanda brought it up, but just so you know, the city of Troy does frown upon the service and giving of alcoholic beverages to minors. And so that you know, you probably will be checked. And we want you to comply with the law as it is written, the strict rule of the law as it is written.
Absolutely.
All right, with that, council, if there are no questions, further questions or comments, is there a motion to approve the special event license?
So moved.
By Mr. Meeks, seconded by
Second.
Ms. Baker. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the special events license is approved. Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming before the council.
Yes, sir.
All right, the next item is Resolution 2023-4, authorizing of an additional payroll. Mayor, do you want to cover this, or do you want me to handle it for you?
It's in the budget, as it always is. Everybody knows that it's 10% of 1 month. It'll be done on November the 10th. We do it in between normal payrolls, and with Friday the 11th being Veterans Day, and that's when we close. If the council approves it, it will be distributed on the 10th. Our part-time employees will receive $75 as they did last year.
And also, Section 2 of the resolution, school crossing personnel will also receive that $75 additional payroll. All right, with that, are there any questions or comments from the council regarding this resolution?
It's a tax payroll, is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
You throw that in when you say it. Tax.
Everything's taxed.
Everything's taxed these days. But a good point, Ms. Moultrie. All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve? By Ms. Moultrie, seconded by Ms. McSwain Holland. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is approved. Thank you, council, and I know our employees thank you as well. Next item is Resolution 2023-5, a contract for services with Common Ground Troy. Mayor?
Yes, during the budgeting process, Common Ground Troy had requested additional funds, which would have required an updated contract for services. This is in line with what they initially laid out to me when they started. They have, over the past, I think they're in their 4th year. They've begun to continue to expand their services, and they're moving into the high school. They've been compliant and proactive with everything that they've done to this point with the funds that we have giving them through the contract, and that's why we had this prepared for you. This money is in the budget. It is not in the line item for Common Ground, but it is in the executive department and can be moved through an internal budget adjustment if the council sees fit. So I think they have they've done an excellent job. In fact, they along with Pastor Moultrie received the Community Service Award at the NAACP banquet just recently. So I think they've done good work, and I would expect that to continue as they have increased their staff and the number of young people that they're reaching out to. So, unless there are any questions, that's
Questions or comments from the council to the mayor regarding this resolution?
This information that we received, looking at it, it does show that they expect to have 54 students participating in this in May.
yes, ma'am.
I just want to, I know we talked about it in the meeting that we had upstairs, but I just want all groups to know who has the best interest of our children to know that we do consider any budget narrative for an increase, not just one group, but any group. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, that's correct. And as I think y'all are aware, as we've worked with different groups in the past, whether it be with possibly a surplus vehicle or storage or public space or many other different things. Folks that we have contracts or services with, we always try to help them as they carry out what they contracted us to do. And, absolutely.
Okay. Anything else? If not, is there a motion to approve the resolution? By Ms. Moultrie, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Meeks. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. The resolution passes with a majority vote. All right. The next item is Resolution 2023-6, which is authorizing the purchase of real property. Mayor?
Yes, this is, as y'all know, we have talked about for some time the need to procure property for possible expansion of manufacturing and have a park, not unlike the park that we have where Cops and Golden Boy Foods, also the poultry facility is right across the road from this property. This is 451 acres that will allow us, should we have the opportunity to recruit new and additional business, but also be an opportunity to provide property that work for future utility infrastructure if needed. And we believe this is a fair price. It's inside the city. There's a small portion of it that is not in the city limits. It can be annexed. But there's over 200 acres that the city can supply electricity to, no matter who occupies it. And we can supply the remainder of our services to the remainder of the property if it's part of our utility system. So this is, I think it's important for the opportunity for future growth as we have run out of spaces, and if we had someone come look at us now, we'd have to scramble. So this will allow us to, over the long term, continue to grow and thrive and keep a very diverse manufacturing base in our community.
Questions or comments for the mayor regarding this resolution?
I have question. This, material we have, it says an option to purchase 448.62 acres.
Yeah, that's probably, just the survey, there's probably, if I said 451, then I'm off by 3.8
Okay, I
acres.
thought you said 200.
This property, the way it lays, there's a transmission line that is owned by PowerSouth, okay? And the way in 1985, the Electric Deregulation Act inside the state of Alabama, where the power was, who served what locations was laid out. And so the 200 or so acres I was talking about is the land that lays to the north side of that transmission line, which is closer to Henderson Highway. Okay? And our thoughts are to do our utility infrastructure work on the south end of this, which we can then, what that Deregulation Act says, if it's owned by the city and is part of the city's infrastructure, then we can serve the power. So what we would do is if we recruited outside private industry, then they would locate toward the front end, which is what they probably need to do anyway, to have more access to the roads and infrastructure and things of that nature. And then we would do any utility infrastructure things that would be beneficial to us, whether it would be a number of things I can think of. Then we would have that property available to use. If that makes sense.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments regarding this resolution? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
By Ms. Baker, seconded by Mr. Meeks. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is agreed to. Thank you, council. Thank you, Mayor, for bringing this.
Very much.
All right, next item is Resolution 2023-7, Strengthening Mobility and Revolutionizing Transportation SMART Grant Program. Ms. Sanders.
This would be a stage 1 planning and prototyping grant application. It's proposed to be sought to examine the feasibility of various connected and automated vehicles to better meet the transportation needs of Troy. This will be a planning study. It will, among the safety and efficiency needs to be examined, are provisions of alternate modes of transportation for students, improved safety and mobility for vulnerable road users, and accommodating the elderly and persons with mobility impairments, among others. This concept should provide additional transportation options that can relieve the burden on the existing transit system and roadway network. The funding request is a maximum of $2 million and is 100% federal funds. This resolution allows for and authorizes the grant submission and is funded the funding agreements and any design, construction, engineering, and inspection agreements, which may include planning and consultant agreements, since this is a planning grant, once these agreements have been reviewed and approved by the city attorney.
All right, council, you've heard an explanation of the resolution. Are there any questions or comments to Ms. Sanders, who's filling in for Dante,
He's here.
on this particular resolution?
Where are you been?
Now listen, so in layman's terms, can you just say what this grant for?
This grant is to do a planning study of automated connected electric vehicles.
Okay.
Would you say that this study, the purpose is to see how we can expand our current transportation?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay.
Auburn, Alabama, they both agreed to come with the city of Troy to do this planning and implementation grant if we so allow it to be. Basically, it's to see how autonomous vehicles will help the city of Troy. I mean, we can't put any kids because it's not legal yet, but they want to plan and explore and see what really works for Troy. And if it does, it's a possibility in the future that we can do it, but we thought it was free money and we could, something that we definitely need, special vehicles, because I know I need them, other departments need them, and it's autonomous is the future. So let's at least try to see what we can do with it. If we can't do anything with it, oh well. But at least Auburn and Alabama, they want to come and help Troy to see what we can do. So that's basically it.
And when you say autonomous use, maybe?
Electric cars?
There you go, we understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We can get some definitions from Dr. Thomas over there.
Yeah, I was saying.
You might have scared her. You said you put students in here.
Yeah.
We've had our questions, we've talked a little bit.
We want to help if we can help.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best to try to help the school.
All right, any other questions or comments from the council on this resolution? If not, is there a motion to approve? By Ms. Moultrie, seconded by Ms. McSwain Holland. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is agreed to. Thank you. Thank you, Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders. All right, the next item is Resolution 2023-8, authorizing the FY 2023 Alabama Transportation Rehabilitation and Improvement Program, an HRIP grant. Ms. Sanders.
The HO2 grant program was included in the Rebuild Alabama Act, which was designed to rehabilitate and improve transportation infrastructure by funding projects of local interest proposed by one or more local governments related to the state-maintained highway system. The proposed grant would be to upgrade the existing Trojan Way, Orion Street, and West Fairview Street roadways to meet current design standards and be used as one continuous new route for US 29 State Route 15. The need for this project is to accommodate existing and projected traffic volumes, improve safety, and reduce large truck traffic in the downtown area of Troy. The maximum funding amount to be provided is $2 million. The current proposed project is estimated at $2,329,267. This resolution allows for and authorizes the grant submission and if funding agreements, state agreements, and design, construction, engineering, and inspection agreements once those agreements have been reviewed and approved by the city attorney.
All right, questions or comments for Ms. Sanders regarding this resolution?
I get a lot of complaints about Trojan Way and with all that stuff that's out there. So I know it would be greatly appreciated if we can get that roadway resurfaced and more passable and traffic friendly. So, thank you.
But we would be directing traffic, big trucks and things of that nature on Trojan Way, off of.
The ones that currently go through downtown, we currently do have log trucks and other truck traffic currently on Trojan Way.
That's a big price to pay for
Head price.
All right.
Big about the traffic.
Any other questions or comments regarding this particular resolution? If not, is there a motion to approve? By Ms. Baker, seconded by Ms. McSwain Holland. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is agreed to. Thank you. Thank you, council. All right. The next item is Resolution 2023-9, which is a professional services agreement for medical billing. Chief Stevens, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, sir. This is an agreement that'll come between Troy Fire Department and Enterprise Rescue, where every time we transport with our ambulances, they'll be able to bill for us. They'll be charging a rate of 8%, and currently the company we're using is at 6%, but we're having a lot of paperwork issues. So by the time we having some of our members do all the paperwork, push it out, it's taking a little bit longer. So this should really streamline this and actually save us money in the long run.
All right, you've heard an explanation of the resolution. Are there any questions or comments?
See, when you say long run, what's the long run?
Probably within a year, we'll recoup that extra money.
All right,
And this will not impact our budget at all.
thank you. Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
By Ms. Moultrie, seconded by Mr. Meeks. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is agreed to. Thank you. All right, per our amended agenda, the next item is Resolution 2023-10, which is a lease agreement with Ambulance Pike County Commission.
Yes,
Chief?
sir. This is an agreement that the vehicle should be ready the first of next week, and we need this agreement in order for us to be able to use it, to get it in Troy, and get it in service. Pretty much the only thing the county will be responsible for is tagging the vehicle because it's through the county that the federal funding was authorized, so it'll be utilized through the city of Troy for Pike County.
All right, you've heard an explanation of the resolution. Are there questions or comments from the council regarding this particular matter?
Only comments, I appreciate the county for this opportunity. You working, obviously, you've got a good relationship and rapport to make this happen.
All right.
Well, Chief, did you, and I might have missed thinking about something else, did you explain to the audience what this vehicle will be used for?
I didn't. This will be another ambulance that'll be coming through Pike County. And it'll be utilized just like the ambulance we have now as a backup to the 911 system. And just like the ball game coming up Saturday, our ambulance will be utilized. So when this one gets in service, we'll actually have one to still help and maintain Pike County for emergency services.
Great. If there are no further questions or comments, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
By Mr. Meeks, seconded by
Second.
Ms. Baker. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is agreed to. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. All right, that concludes the resolution portion of the agenda. The next three items on our agenda are ordinances that will be proposed. These will constitute first readings of these ordinances, and no action will be taken at tonight's meeting. All right, the first is Ordinance 434, which is the authority to sell real property. This is an agreement between the City of Troy and Troy Bank and Trust Company that will constitute the first reading of this ordinance. All right. Second ordinance, Ordinance 435, authorizing the operation of medical cannabis dispensaries within the corporate limits of the City of Troy. As most of you know, the governor has signed into law the Medical Cannabis Commission, and they are working to do the licensing for this, and this will be the first reading to authorize the City of Troy to enter into agreements at a later date. If there no further explanation to that, Mayor, that will serve as the first reading of Ordinance 435. All right, the next item is Ordinance 436, which is the vacation and abandonment of sanitary sewer easement. And I think this is within the Prospect Ridge subdivision area. And that will constitute the first reading of this ordinance at this time. All right, with that, we do not have any appointments this evening, Mayor, and we welcome your comments and your report.
I'd start by saying I do appreciate y'all allowing us to add to the agenda of the ambulance. There is another one of those in the pipeline, so eventually we'll have one at each one of our fire stations. It is very grateful to have a good working relationship with the Pipeline Commission. That relationship has continued to improve. Very, very grateful for that. while I'm on the subject of the county, I'd like to mention former county commissioner Ron Morgan passed away. Our thoughts and prayers about his family. He was a county commissioner for several terms, to the legal community. Those people in Troy will know that his wife Linda taught a lot of us math, and did it very, very well. Appreciate his public service and his service to the county. As you can tell by the dark light through or the darkness through the blinds, daylight savings time has come upon us. So please, be careful. Everybody will be going home from work now in the dark, and it's something that we all need to get used to and pay attention to. If you look through those blinds, you see Holman and Ethel Johnson Center for the Arts. And every time I look at it, I think of Holman and Ethel, who was very important to me, but I also think of Matt Gibson, who worked very, very hard, especially toward the end of his life, to develop that place, to save it, and to work with Mac. Work with a lot of businesses in this community, help them do a lot of different things, and very involved in the arts in this church, in a number of boards. Our thoughts and prayers certainly go out to Mary and Doug and Andrew and the whole family. Matt was a person of faith. I appreciate you very much, and this is very thankful for all you've done. And I'll close by saying that I have thoroughly enjoyed the last decade. And I have really been blessed to work with you, Marcus. You were a great public servant, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in Montgomery. You know your way around it very, very well. You know this community and this county and North Dale County. And you'll continue to serve all of us correctly. Just want you to know that we're always a call away. Just really appreciate you and Lee and the boys and service staff. I'm grateful for your friendship and your support over the last decade. And we look forward to supporting you and helping you in where we can as we know you'll help us. Thank you.
Any questions or comments for the mayor or the council at this time? Hearing none, Ms. McSwain-Holland, we welcome your report.
I want to first thank Mr. Sneed for taking out the time to come out today to voice his concerns and show his concerns versus just talking about it, but coming out and letting you know that you really care and that you're looking to help with a solution or seeking it through us. That means a lot because I do get a lot of complaints, and it's very rare that anybody is willing to step up and come before the council and voice those concerns. So thank you very much for that. And I also want to thank those that participated in our community drive through trick or treat over at Knox Street. I just want to take a moment to openly acknowledge those people: the Alpha Kappa Alpha Alumni Sorority, the Delta Sigma Theta Alumni Sorority, the Kappa Alpha Psi Alumni Fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Alumni Fraternity, Zeta Phi Beta Graduate Chapter Sorority, All-In Credit Union, Max Credit Union, CGI, Everything Counts, SUSO, Mr. Mitchell Sneed, Troy United Women's League, Ms. Ebony Williams, Two Brothers Frozen Trees, Troy Police Department, the Timothy Lawrence Explainer Memorial Scholarship, the Kiwanis Club, and Mr. Dan Smith and his staff. I appreciate those that stayed out there, rain or shine, to make sure that those parents that came out and the children that came out were welcomed and just acknowledged. That's my ultimate goal, is just every opportunity that we can unite and work together for the good of our community, for the greater of our city. And it takes us working together. We are definitely better together. So thank you all for that. And congratulations, Marcus. You're so excited, y'all, just running down the steps. This afternoon, I have found it a great pleasure working with you these 2 years, and the support that's there, and being open with me when I do have questions or concerns. It makes a difference to know that you're working with people that are forthcoming with you for the good of our city and the people that are here. So I know you're going to do a great job in Montgomery, and I'm sure we'll be able to compliment you.
Always, thank you.
Thank you all.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, first of all, I want to remind the citizens of District 2 that our trash and garbage route will be run on Thursdays instead of Friday. The city will be closed Friday for that. Second, Mr. Sneed, I agree with you. I ride by that area, my job is about every day, and it is awful. And I agree with something needs to be done, and thank you for coming before council and speaking to us on that. And last, Mr. Fairmore, it has been a good 10 years. I have thoroughly enjoyed serving with you, have learned a lot from you. We've had a small part in bringing several things to Troy, such as, I won't forget something I know, such as Publix, Kimber, what is my list? The shopping center, Big Lots, and we do appreciate everything you've done, and we look forward to counting on you in the future, and don't forget us.
That's right. Thank you. Ms. Baker?
We're gonna make sure you don't forget us.
That's right.
You know your number.
That's right.
I agree with comments that have been made from my colleagues. Mr. Nick Sneed, thank you again. Thank you for being here tonight, but also thank you for what you're doing in the community. I know that you go above and beyond to invest in our community, particularly the young people. You obviously have a passion for this community. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for sharing your concerns here. Poll, obviously it's election day. We've got till 7 o'clock, so any of you that's here on Facebook Live, or when you leave this meeting, get to the polls. Never endorse a candidate publicly, but I'll ask that you vote for our friend and colleague, Mr. Marcus here. So you got till 7 o'clock, but in all seriousness, thank you to the poll workers that have spent their day in dealing with the public and making sure that our elections here are easy and convenient and open to all. 'Tis the season. I know we're getting ready to start Christmas shopping. That's why you may have already started your shopping, but just encourage and remind everybody to shop local. We have more options than I think we've ever had before in our local retail, and I'm pretty sure that Cena stops here. So I would ask you to support our local business here, be intentional about supporting our small business owners. Mr. Mack, I can't add too much to what you've already said there, but certainly thoughts and prayers are with their family, and he will certainly be missed, but has left incredible footprints on this community. Marcus, thank you. Good luck. We look forward to seeing what's next.
Ms. Moultrie?
Well, it's Thanksgiving season, and we just need to continue to take time out to be thankful for what God has already given us and what He's done for us, so we can be seeing about each other in our communities. And I just appreciate you, Marcus. I kid with you a lot because you allow me to be me when I call you Marcus. And that, if anybody knows me, that's something to deal with when I can be me. But you allow that to happen in your relationship, so I appreciate that. And everything that you did, gonna do, that you're doing and what you're doing for the areas that you represent. So, you know, I got you, man.
You do.
So, I just want to thank all of you guys. You know, it's just time for us to be thankful again. Not that we should be everything, but there's always seasons that come about, and we should always be thankful. Thankful for the good things, the bad things, and thankful for people being concerned about whatever goes on in this community. And you know, I was talking to Mr. Sneed when I came down the stairs, and I said, "Hey, good, man, you said that to me about this." But he, you know, me and him had a relationship too. I'll see him Thursday. And so we'll continue this conversation, because I know that this station is in District 5, is that correct? Just like we did the Washington, when they were doing all that shooting up there, you know, we have to pay close attention to whatever goes on in our district, and be on one accord when we try to make sure we see it.
Thank you, Ms. Moultrie. I won't say this before I forget it, but I know when everything starts in Montgomery and the legislature's in session and we're listening to somebody filibuster or debate a bill, I know I'm going to look to my left and want to see Wanda's facial expressions about a few things to get me through that. So I'll get her to Snapchat me or something in the middle of some of those debates so that I can probably get through them. But I too want to send condolences to the Matt Gibson family. He really did leave a very valuable footprint on this community, and he will be missed no matter what.